Who the nigga that you with, girl? Yeah, he don't do you like this, girl. Yeah, and I put 30 on the underage drinking that you doing, so I want it like this, girl. Yeah, in the bed with your hair tied. Yeah, what you hear about me, all lies. I'm the one that gets you wet, I eat the pussy like whenever shawty really need to ease her. I said I ate babe like I'm a hurricane. I need 2 cuss of that, run me down, that pussy done for. You feeling done for, cause I beat it good and you stuck on it. D-stroke when I confront it. Sex talk, make your legs shake. Eating good, so what's heartbreak? All you thinking about is that pussy feel me done. I'm like done. Just wanna touch you, babe, it's like done. I mean done. I'm like done. Just wanna touch you, girl, it's like done. I'm like done. I'm like done. Wanna touch you, girl, it's like done. Wanna fuck you, girl, it's like done. Wanna need girl, it's like done. It's better to switch out, you feel me? I'm rocking with it. But I still know.
All right, y'all. Hello, hello. Can you guys hear us?
I hear you.
Oh, cool, 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 cool. Yeah. By the way, yeah, been been a tough day. I just got back from the gym, and then what is it? Yeah, I just like relax. So, how things going for you, Revenant?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah,
Finally got a PS5.
lucky you, bro.
Yeah. So,
Good evening.
what's up, Spirit?
Good
All good,
evening.
man. All good. How's
What's
everyone
up?
else doing?
Great,
Pretty good.
great.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool,
Hey,
cool.
Spirit.
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Revenant got like on PS5. So,
Nice. What'd you
but
think of it?
It's pretty cool so far. I
at
kind of
least
like the home screen, like the how things navigate. It's pretty simple and it's not like so much clutter. It's kind of better than the PS4 how it was. So,
Mm-hmm.
and I
yeah.
tried the Stellar Blade demo, so that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, great, great.
Yeah.
See,
I
I
know
haven't tried that yet. I need to download that.
Oh, but
it's
you have a
very,
PS5, right?
very great.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I will say for me, let's see next month because they're gonna announce an event and a showcase. If they have a tease for the next console, I'd be down for that. And probably maybe down the line I might get it.
I hear
You mean
you.
like the pro?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So right now we need to wait on the bad boy Jim Patchy so we can discuss about the
yeah. I sent them the link on X, Twitter.
yeah.
So
Let's
be
go.
here soon. Yeah.
We need to discuss about the shills and also the state of the damn gaming.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
just so you guys know, I'm bringing my podcast back this Saturday. So if any of you guys want to join, you can let me know. So
yeah.
Cool, cool.
yeah.
What is it? Does Mugen Long got Discord or not really, bro?
I don't know if he does, to be honest. I'm not really like close with the guy like that. So I've had a few interactions on like X and also uh on some of his videos. I'll leave comments, but
Yeah,
One sec,
other
Lee.
than that, I don't really know.
yeah. Because it can be kind of like in the spot where you got someone that don't really don't know each one on another.
Yeah, I mean, he seems cool from what I've from the
Yeah,
interaction I've had, and obviously on the podcast a couple months ago, he was
yeah.
really cool. So
Oh,
I don't know if he has it set up where you have to pay in order to be in the Discord. 'Cause some people do that because they want to avoid like trolls or people trying to like hack anyone and all that shit. I mean,
yeah.
you obviously know what the Chico's the Saints Row
Yeah,
Discord,
yeah,
all the crazy shit that has happened there.
yeah, yeah.
So in a way, I don't really blame people for like doing that, but I also feel like you can just simply like just check on someone's background and just like make sure you're not just letting anyone in, no matter what.
I
Yeah,
hear that.
yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, Revenant, speaking of that, have you seen the damn, situation? At least was it our boy Spirit got it right. The thing with goddamn current day Ubisoft.
Uh,
Oh, what
Ubisoft.
happened?
So they've pissed everybody. Shit, my voice is going. They've pissed everybody off with the new Star Wars.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh
Yeah.
god. I don't know if you guys I don't know if any of you guys know the band Aerosmith. The old
No.
band. Well, the vocalist kind of it looks like this vocalist for Aerosmith, the female that they got.
She kind of looked like one of them inflatable dolls, bruh.
God,
I
And
was
it's
like,
crazy. I don't,
jeez.
I've seen pictures of the actual face model, and she looks
yeah.
pretty. But I mean, that's usually how it is. Like they
Majority
usually bring someone who's pretty, and then when they start making the character in the game, then they just like fuck it all up on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. Even though I've seen many YouTube talking about it, and also the dumbass show, you got a lot of Twitter online shows trying to defend it. But I'm so
Oh yeah,
glad them bitch had to confirm it. Oh, and also the game outlets, cause they exposed themselves. Oh, we brought some bots, so that can tell they brought some bots and some socket accounts from that bullshit. What we
yeah,
saw.
yeah. I forgot what account it
Mm,
is. It's someone that I follow on there, on X. They have been putting up where they're exposing like company like Ubisoft having like bot accounts.
Yeah.
There was another one. Oh yeah, Remedy with Alan Wake 2, where people are now like coming to the fence and trying to praise it because they did some type of update for PC for people to be able to play the game with like lower settings and all that. So
Yeah.
See, the thing is, though, when it comes down to bots on X or Twitter, is like even I've got a few and I don't even fucking use the app.
yeah, right. It's like whenever
I,
you like say something negative, it's like so happens to be a bunch of people coming out of nowhere and going after you.
not
Yeah.
not even that. Like I just got some like fake porn star accounts just
Oh yeah,
following.
yeah. I get that
Oh,
too.
yeah. Damn.
Jeez, is that the kind of app Twitter's become? We got like
Yeah,
enough
I don't know.
gal
It's
just
like
selling
crazy.
And
out
right
their
now,
bots.
goddamn, if you take with anime, they're trying to use under 18, like under 18 is a male. They're trying to like put it into damn ultra masculine. I
Oh, because
say,
they're trying to use the whole thing out with an Android.
yeah, Andrew like anime character into a very, very huge masculine where they're trying to, not being sexist, you know, take up take off, her damn ass tits and make her have like a man chest. I say that's what them butts wanna do.
Mm,
Shills.
I'm even hearing that Gina Carano got bots sent her way. Like her court case is going on right now with Disney.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what is it? And the goddamn what is it? The dumbass shills. I know what the shills doing because they know they're trying their best to like what is it? Like holding the company. Why am I holding it? They always love to jump on there, go back and trying to do the same thing, trying to say, "Oh, quiet down, quiet down, quiet down." But we all know what you're trying to do. You're trying to like convince people to just buy the goddamn thing. And what's it? For example, Revenant. Remember the goddamn situation, but what we have to like deal with the E EA. I would say not EA, like either assholes, how they want to like
Well,
what
you can't spell dead without EA.
yeah like
Yep.
how either assholes want that game to be successful, the Dead Space remake, and the fact either assholes can't even like
Do you want to know? I'm
make
actually kind of pissed off about that because Dead Space 2 is actually my favorite one in the franchise.
yeah.
So,
Well,
like,
hey,
if that's not getting remade, then it's like, well, what a fucking bummer.
yeah, but hey, Revenant. Can because at least he gave a little details about Revenant. Can you explain how majority of the Dead Space community were kind of this point, even though it stayed like faithful to the original, but how like them even also trying to like change it. You there, right, Revenant?
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
All right.
But hold that thought.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, yeah. Cool. What is it? Personally, well, when I was excited for the remake before, because I was thinking, yeah, it would be great. It would be damn like on point. I know, like, don't get twisted. Okay, the gameplay okay, and it stay kind of, you know,
I
faithful to the
don't
original, but
really see like what the fuck were they expecting? Like all they were really supposed to do was just touch up the gameplay, like literally take what's already there, smoothen out the gameplay, and
yeah,
update the fucking textures. That
yeah,
is all they needed to do. And
because
I don't know how much money these people were expecting, but remasters and remakes typically don't sell as well as a brand new title does, or a sequel, for
yeah,
example.
well, because what is it? Because Reverend will explain, a lot of the detail of the.
Then again, I can't even lie. I wouldn't mind that remake, wouldn't like a remake and get like the updated AC
Let's
game
go,
for
homie.
AC2. Oh, good evening or good
Good
afternoon.
evening. How's it going?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am good, sir. I am very good.
yeah,
How are you?
yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
yep.
We're waiting for
Y-
Reverend, sir. And sir, by the way, have you seen the news about the damn Dead Space remake?
Oh yeah, I was talking about it with Revenant not that long ago.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah. I mean, it got what it deserved. Of course.
exactly.
If you give people, if you change something that people like, and then you're getting like they could like let me rephrase what I'm saying. If they're receiving that kind of backlash, that shows you that the game is too divisive to make the money that they want to make. So of
Mm.
course, they're not gonna have the financial incentive to make another remake. It's kind of like The Last of Us 2, where Neil Druckmann saying, "Well, we're not sure
Cockman,
if Neil, yeah,
Cockman.
Neil Cuckman, spelled as if you're kneeling, right? But
Yeah.
he said, "Oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna make a Last of Us 2, a Last of Us 3 because all these factors." But the reality is that if the game was profitable, it wasn't profitable enough to justify the financial investment. And of course, that's probably more of the real. It's more of the real reason why we won't get in a Last of Us 3. Not that I want
Yeah,
one. I'm just saying in general.
yeah,
So
and also even though Revenant, even though me
Oh yeah,
discussed
I'm back.
the real reason why was it the like the real hardcore Dead Space fans give it a little bit of disappointment, and also I call out what they done to the story a little bit, and also the gameplay.
So are you talking about the Dead Space remake or Last of
Yeah,
Us?
the
'Cause-
Dead Space remake,
okay,
like
okay.
how they toned down the atmosphere on the gameplay.
Yeah, it's funny because
Yeah.
who's I don't know if you heard of American Krogan. He used to be on YouTube, but um
Did,
anyway,
did they do Mass Effect content?
what was that?
Did they do content on Mass Effect?
I don't think so, right?
No. This is the team that did it is EA Motive.
Ah,
So I don't know what they did
No,
before then,
but American
BioWare did
Krogan.
Krogan, yeah. American
I think
Krogan is a
that's what you were
YouTube
referring
channel.
to, right? That
yeah.
American Krogan, yeah.
Oh
I think he was just a commentator. I don't think he
yeah.
really was a Dead Space channel or anything like that.
No, he's not
When I
affiliated with
hear,
any game company. It's
because
just
when I hear
his name
Krogan,
on YouTube.
because when I hear
Um
Krogan, I think Mass Effect.
yeah, it's funny because he has
Yeah,
like a Krogan, but then it has like a blonde wig on or something like that.
yeah.
So anyway,
He probably likes Mass Effect enough to have that, but not a dedicated channel. That's what I always assumed
yeah.
about him.
Yeah. So he had explained the issues with the Dead Space remake and also like what they've done differently about it. Like the atmosphere being changed, a lot of attention to detail not being there. The obvious stuff that other people have talked about, such as myself, like the race swapped NPCs on the posters,
Yeah,
Nicole's redesign. God, what was her name
I
again?
was
Danielle.
redesigned.
Was it? God, what was her name again?
Nicole,
No, the other one.
I
What was
don't
her
Uh,
name?
remember.
is it Kendra or something?
There you go, Kendra. There you
Kendra,
go,
yeah,
Kendra. They
Yeah,
flattened her chest and also
yeah,
didn't give her like a lot of like a curvy body like she did in the first one. Like
yeah.
they
that's
That's
added
true.
added more like a jacket over her or something like that. So, to cover her up
Eh,
even more, and then you can't really see like the shape of her body like you did in the first one.
that's
Not
true.
to mention the bootleg Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
Bootleg
Oh
Buzz
yeah,
Lightyear,
yeah.
yeah.
And what they did with Isaac and all that, and also he's talking in the game.
Yeah, it
And like
killed
in
it.
them constantly showing his face, and it's just it kind of like
I
took
think,
away from what the original was doing.
And because
yeah,
wasn't it? He
It's all
was silent in the first game,
so
wasn't he?
yeah. He barely talked. It was really to project the player onto
yeah,
Isaac in the
and
original game, so he
the
barely would talk for that
Yeah, but
reason.
do
You
you
know.
guys
yeah,
remember that era of gaming where we always had like the silent protagonist, like in
Yes.
like the early 2000s to like
Zelda, Mario,
Yeah.
yeah. And a lot of
yeah,
that had to do with technical limitations because the older consoles didn't have if we're talking PS1, like just having the voice dialogue was took a lot of memory, so that was like it was like a compromise. But I like that because a lot of those games made you
yeah.
feel like you were connected to the character, right? Like
Yep.
Spyro or Crash Bandicoot is one. Like
Mhm.
it's okay, like even though we
Samus.
know where or Samus is Metroid is actually my favorite Nintendo series. Like personally, that's actually one of my favorite gaming series. I kind of wish it wasn't locked only to Nintendo. Well, I used to think that until I saw what Sony and Microsoft are doing. So I'm actually glad that Nintendo is like gatekeeping it hard because they would have like long fucked that up.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah. So I actually wanted to say that with Isaac, that the worst part about remakes like that are like a remake of the first game that's like in a franchise is that they have like the history of the game being completed already. Like you have like all the story has been already finished, and you had several sequels. So on the first game, Isaac wasn't a truly realized character yet because they added so much in 2 and 3. The remake is gonna work with the fact that they know how the story turns out for the character, and since people like know what his face looks like already, they're more like brazen with showing it. I don't know if I'm making sense here, but I think you guys get where I'm going with it.
No, I
And,
do. But the issue with that is that
Yeah.
his
well, I'm not
face
agreeing with
model-
it.
No,
I'm
I
not
know,
agreeing with it.
I know, but
I think it hurts the game. Is my
It
whole
does,
point
yeah.
with making it is with
People
saying
had
this is that it
issues
hurt
too before
that it
came
hurts
out.
the game. It kills the tone because the whole creepy thing was that you're playing as this guy, and yeah, he has a name. His name's Isaac Clarke or whatever, but you feel like you're in the story because he doesn't talk. Your reactions are Isaac's
see his face
reactions,
either.
and most of the story is done through gameplay, which is like there's not that many actual cutscenes in the game, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like when you have this guy talking and just like expressing himself, and you give him more
Yeah.
personality, it actually hurts the game
It
because
hurts me, bro.
yeah.
And the thing is with Isaac and his face model for the remake doesn't look like the actual face model, his in real life counterpart. So when people
That's
make
true.
all this
I
like
don't
shit
know
with like
why they
Nicole
needed
or
to
other
change it in the
characters,
first
that
place.
it's like the same as her or whatever. But when it comes to the men, they change their faces up.
Well, what's that game called? Star Wars Jedi Outcast? What? Not Jedi Outcast. That's a whole different game. What's that game called? That came out.
Outlaws, bro. Outlaws.
No. But that's actually a
The
good
one-
point. But it's not Outlaws.
Jedi
It's Fallen
Jedi
Order.
Survivor?
No.
Yeah,
Fallen Order.
Okay,
So
yeah,
if you look at the main character in that game, I believe his name's Cal. He looks exactly like the actor that plays him.
Yeah, he does.
Gives him life. He looks exactly beat for beat like him in that game, and yet EA is incapable of. It's like more. It's more to your point. It's more to your point that like they can't keep it consistent where like the female characters don't look anything like that. You know what I mean? Like the female characters are always drastically altered and changed to like. They're always drastically altered and changed, and then people that defend it will blame like the tech limitations or they're
Which is a
taking
lie.
liberties with the characters or whatever.
They coming off
Which
the
is funny.
characters.
Or
You
Many
covering
say
them up.
that, but then
players talking
you
about
have
the
Devil May
character
Cry
design.
5 that knows how to do it.
Yeah,
Death
in other
Stranding
games.
did it well, and there's other like the Resident Evil games and all that.
Yeah. So my whole
They
point with
can't
all
use
this
that as an
is
excuse when it comes down to the engine or anything like that.
yeah,
Or when they
and
talk
more so
about
that it's
realism,
EA.
because these
Yeah,
Eastern
Eve assholes,
developers
call them.
are doing face scans themselves and not having any of these issues. So what's going on?
And-
When a lot of
and-
these
and-
Western games, AAA games,
Mhm.
have higher budgets than the Eastern AAA games.
And on top of that, it's consistent with EA because EA is changing. I believe the new game is also made by EA, right? Outlaws.
No, that's by Ubisoft.
Okay,
Ubisoft,
it's by
Ubisoft
Ubisoft.
They
Okay.
make internet requests, and look how much Spirit told, and also I speak about this. Ubisoft keep on throwing their foot part to make their open world into RPG and make it like Souls like Bloodborne
Yeah.
and other things. I ain't got them nowhere near. Tell them
Yeah.
Spirit.
Like,
How do you
I
feel about
think Ubisoft keeps making the same game, and they haven't really
Yes.
been able to really create something truly new in a very long time.
Mm-hmm. I think
And
what cursed them. Well, what cursed them was Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
That was the curse that they cast on themselves because once they took a like I always talk about this with Revenant because it pisses me off because at one point I was like a huge Assassin's Creed fan and
just
it
like
was like-
me, bro. Just
and for
like
me-
me.
And for me, it was a bonding experience with my older brother because I don't think I told him this, but he used to be really into like history and like the ancient world and like the past and like he was like really into that stuff. So we would bond over that because we both liked the games and we both liked how the games they had like a kind of like pseudo fictional but like grounded history. You get what I'm saying? But I'm bringing that up because of how much I like the game because they took a story that had a clear narrative and a clear direction of where it needed to go. And then they felt the need to say, hey, let's kill off and abruptly end everything that we've already built up haphazardly for the sake of for the
appeasing
sake
you dumbass.
no,
Yeah.
but not even appeasing to anybody, for the sake of killing the main narrative so we can just pump out a bunch of nonsensical sequels that lead nowhere because it's profitable, because Assassin's Creed as a name became profitable. So instead of focusing on Desmond and really cool like conspiracy like Illuminati plot that they had with Abstergo, they decided, all right, we're gonna end Desmond's storyline, his character arc, and we're gonna just keep pumping out games in different regions. And now we're just gonna pretty much we're just gonna pretty much give you hints and pieces of this like grand conspiracy, but it never goes anywhere. It's kind of like a show like Lost, where like they're just making it up as they go, and it seemed like they didn't care anymore. And that's basically the vibe that I get from modern Assassin's Creed. So in my opinion, they absolutely ruined it, and now because they realize, hey, we can make a game. And honestly, Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed series was the catalyst for a lot of games going and doing that kind of BS, because it said, hey, we don't need to make a game with a clear narrative. We just have to make something with enough brand recognition where we could pump out infinite sequels.
So they can't say something. So they can piece those shows and what these shows do, because they know they play Dark Souls, Bloodborne, and maybe Elden Ring, and define this type of Assassin's Creed game from Origins or maybe Odyssey. Those are a great RPG. Yeah, I want those type of RPG element. But when it came to me judge a hardcore fan base trying to give them a reason, good argument, they can't even count it. They're always trying to like find some way to weaponize the show. They got no argument at all, bro. They got no damn.
I agree.
There are these shares insult which you can't even, get the own point.
Well, keep in mind also, like when you have a thing where you're like doing a game as a service or something, like, because it's kind of like
and
doing these kind of things. Doing
Sorry.
these kind of things though just kind of makes a situation where no one cares about this story. No one gives a rat's ass of where it goes, as long as you have a guy in a white hood in a new region, like in a new time, a new point in history. That's all that matters. So of course they're gonna add of course they're saying, all right, our series is open-ended enough and meaningless enough where we can just start doing identity politics. We can just start doing whatever. You don't even need to be related to Ezio or Altair anymore, or Desmond. You just have to have we just advance the technology. Like all these ass-pull in-story reasons, plot conveniences, just so that they can do whatever they want.
I think they should have did sequels for some characters. Because
like what they did with Ezio.
Exactly, bro.
Look, I'm gonna be honest.
What's his face from Unity? God, what is his name again?
Arno.
There you go. Yeah, that would have been good too.
If Ubisoft would have followed their path to victory, right, like their key to victory, they would have had one of the greatest gaming series of all time. And I'm gonna explain why I think that, because they could have. It's flanderized. They could have just made it that, all right, they were obviously leading to a confrontation with Abstergo and Desmond, right? And the assassins.
Mm-hmm.
So what the series should have ended up like after all Desmond's adventures, you end up becoming a modern assassin as Desmond. And I'm not talking about the half-ass shit they gave us in Assassin's Creed 3. I mean, like, he should have been like a fully realized assassin using modern weapons, modern tech, and then they could have pumped out 3 games of that while in the parts where you're in the animus, he's playing through like more of like a previous point in history. So you're getting, the limited technology of like a character like Ezio or Altair, but then you're also playing modern sections of the game where you're playing as Desmond and he's using like guns, explosives or whatever, like a combination. And they could have actually ended the series on a much higher note and a much more complete story. But the thing that pisses me off the most is that they like rushed. It's like they still kind of did that with the solar flare and shit like that, but it was so rushed. It was so rushed and was clearly done just to move on from Desmond.
Yeah.
But then again, they fired the creator of the franchise, I think around Brotherhood Revelations time.
Yeah, that's
it was Revelations, I believe. That was the last game I think he was involved in, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So yeah, they fired him because they didn't want to end the story, right? Like they could have even made, if they really wanted to keep going, they could have even made spin-offs involving the characters from
Exactly.
the previous games. They could have done so many things, but they chose to
In my opinion, I think they can do an Assassin's Creed game without the Animus completely.
I agree
like-
too. I think
you
that's
can just play
possible.
as like whoever
bro.
is within that setting.
I think that I would have been okay with that if they would have actually wrapped up Desmond's storyline and just wrapped that up properly. But because they didn't, and they did what they did, it's just every Assassin's Creed game that comes out just feels useless to me. I just
True.
have to like. It just feels like there's no point, there's no investment, there's no stakes. It doesn't matter.
It's
It's like
It's
there's
just
no end in
here.
sight as far as like the modern day like story, which was kind of like the
no
driving
more
force
no,
of what was going
more
on.
than the Templars, Momi. It's about like Cole, and when it comes to like the first like AC 1 to 2 to 3 and the 4 and maybe Unity, it talks about Templars. But right now I see majority
Oh
people
yeah,
talk
we had
about
Odyssey.
the
Yeah.
downgrade of the female protagonist.
Yeah,
They're
that was-
trying to compare Elise Mother to that. What is it?
I'm pretty
That's
sure
all-
Odyssey was set like a good few hundred years before Origins.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
just find it hard to care, and I think that a lot of Assassin's Creed fans don't care, and even them making it an RPG even further cements the point that like that Ubisoft don't care. They just
Yeah.
know that if they slap Assassin's Creed on it, it'll make money. So I wouldn't be surprised. Like them going the RPG route is almost as egregious as if they just went and made it a first person shooter or something.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
guys,
mean?
I saw
like I
The
said,
Witcher,
guys,
innit? So they wanted a little bit of
remember
that.
this how they go very,
Mhm.
very outraged on Twitter because what is it? Elden Ring sold in more copy than them. Have you seen how they go insane, Ubisoft developers?
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, it's not fair. How come ours is going down, but meanwhile, in particular, Element, it got like made a massive views playing its game and its open world RPG.
Because
They-
Elden Ring's a good
That
game.
was copy.
And Elden Ring has a heart and soul and isn't a corporately
Mhm.
produced piece of shit. That's why it
Yeah.
did well. Because
So
in the end of the day, man,
with Assassin's Creed, it's just brand loyalty at this point.
it's
Which is
brand
why
loyalty.
people keep buying it and getting excited for the new one because it really doesn't matter what they do because they're just gonna hype it up,
Defend
and
it anyway.
support it and defend it and try to like tell everyone. It's just like with Mirage, where people like, oh, they're going back to their roots. Oh, they finally listen to the fans.
No,
And
they don't. No,
No, they
don't.
didn't.
Why?
It was a cash-in side game, and they couldn't even be asked to make new animations for the character. They just sped up the ones and removed the RPG effects off the already existing animations. They lazily made that game, and they
Yeah,
couldn't even have it be a true Assassin's Creed game. They had to give them some bootleg fear takedowns from Arkham Knight
Yeah,
because it couldn't just be a freaking regular.
bullshit, bro.
It couldn't just be a regular assassin game. He had to have some stupid RPG or some stupid trickle down shit from the team that made the RPG stuff.
Yep.
So my whole point with all this is that like you removed the heart from the story. You removed the stakes, right? Even if they wanted to kill off Desmond, they could have kept stakes within the story and they didn't.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I give a shit
killed
anymore
off
because I don't.
Juno as well. They killed her off in a comic book.
Oh yeah.
they killed off.
Yeah. Juno.
Juno, that was the
Oh,
whole
oh.
bitch in 3.
Wow.
And like basically they didn't know what to do with her in the games.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
Just
like-
like nobody in the comics like assassinated her, and now
Wow.
she's gone.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's another example. They don't know what the fuck they're doing because
Exactly. I mean, it's the same. It's the same thing. Was it like goddamn? I will say to Layla. They assassinate Layla, so they got rid of her.
oh, she got assassinated or something.
Yeah,
in
I basically-
Valhalla.
what
But
is it?
I'm gonna be real. After feudal Japan, like I think they need to put the franchise on break because I don't see any other era that I want to go to other than that.
Yeah. And I think
And
even with
they're gonna ruin
the
that too.
well, I heard they're gonna
They're gonna
replace
take a
him with
setting that everyone wants, and they're just gonna ruin it.
well, they're gonna make Yasuke. Well, I don't know if it's true. It's a rumor, but allegedly, and I'm not gonna be surprised because it's France and Ubisoft,
Yeah,
and like you put
I-
those two things together.
yeah. There's a lot of
like-
good reasons to take it at face value.
Yeah, because if you know anything about France, France is fucked up with like the identity politics going on over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
So what
As
is it?
well.
And
I hate campaign of man. We all know Assassin's Creed families got like so much shills. They want to like do this damage control. They go say blah 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 blah, and they go act the same way just like us. But they don't know how to like keep it real, cause the thing is they're scared like they lose
well,
over
I'm
complete
just gonna I'm just gonna put it this way, right? Like some of my favorite athletes, for example, right, are
yeah.
black athletes. There's so many like black athletes, black actors, black characters that I enjoy, and I never felt like, oh, I can't enjoy this game unless it appeals to like people that are like of my skin tone or my race. It was just like, all right, the character's cool or whatever, right? And with this game, it's like with Ubisoft doing a story with feudal Japan and having you play as Yasuke, I feel like that's so it's so disrespectful and racist to Japan, that of Japan's rich history, all the
Exactly, bro.
the famous swordsmen, the famous warriors from Japan. Instead of doing anything like that, you're like, okay, well, let's just use a way to do identity politics at the expense of Japanese history and culture.
I'm actually doing a movie about him now. Like, I literally watched a video of them announcing it like a few hours ago.
Oh god. Yeah.
And look, and let's be
So
real.
many people are upset about Shogun not having any diversity, and
I'm just thinking, I'm like,
Shogun, by the way, very good show.
But here's the thing, to your point, it's like no diversity. It's like so it's like what, them being Japanese is not good enough. Like if a game takes place entirely in Japan, that's not diversity. So if your skin tone is not a shade of brown to these people, then it's no longer diverse, right? Like, and you're respecting history.
It's a diverse show. Like there's Japanese, there's Portuguese, and there's British people in that show. The problem is they're all white. According to them people.
Yeah, exactly. The skin's not brown enough to justify it being diverse, right? It's like even cultures, right? Like you find so many people that say things like, "Oh, you don't understand this culture. It's not the same," whether it be like Jamaican black, American black, or African or whatever, which is true. They're not the same, but then these same people will look at a German guy, a Russian guy, or an Irish guy, and they're all just the same white, completely ignoring their cultural histories, right? And
exactly, bro.
and it's frustrating because it's clear to me that like it's not really about diversity or inclusion. It's actually just about like I hate to say it, but I really just think it's straight racism. I think it's just activists hijacking a space and projecting their racism onto other people.
Exactly.
That's how I look at it.
And guys, let me say this. It's about like feminism too, where everything you got to like, remove the past, remove blah 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 blah. And also, what is it? I want to say this because even though I speak to guy in the gym, a lot of people, they all agree with this type of stuff. How modern game is when it comes to like Grand Theft Auto and like Ubisoft and all that. It's garbage, bro.
And it has to make sense. It has to make sense. If you have a game in feudal Japan, Yasuke is not the guy who should be the main character of the game.
Exactly.
They shouldn't be based off Yasuke. And in the end, people ignore the real history of it, where he was a retainer. He wasn't even like a real like samurai or warrior in that regard.
Yeah,
so
the video I watched said that as well.
Yeah, so it's also it's revisionist history, and again, like it's disrespectful to the Japanese because that's like France, the French team at Ubisoft. Not that, but it's because the reason why I stay so focused on the fact that they're French is because like politically, a lot of them are like far left leaning in France.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Or
just like
let's
with
not
Canadians.
far left leaning. We call them far
Canadians.
EI leaning. To be honest, far
Australians.
EI leaning. They don't.
One of my favorite characters called Revolver Ocelot says,
"Oh yeah,
don't trust the French."
Yeah. Never point your gun at me again, daughter of Golukovich. I love that game. I love that fucking game.
But the thing is that activists, they don't care about making sense. They just care about spreading their message, no matter what.
That's true.
Yeah, basically.
And that's how many video game companies are scared of those type of people, but at least they don't have no balls to at least stand up or go against them.
And what's really sad is
But
every time they push this message, it just puts people's jobs at risk.
Yeah, and it also creates divide. Like,
Mhm.
you know, I had this discussion on X, and it was pretty heated. I went back and forth with a few people. Some people were more civil than others, but regardless, I had this conversation, and it was about Static Shock, where I was talking about how when there was an
I know what you're
episode where
talking
where Richie and his brother were. I'm not his brother. Sorry, Richie and Virgil, who's Static Shock, are best friends, and they made an episode where they made Richie's father racist, where Richie, you know, Richie's white. I don't know if you ever seen the show, but and
Yeah, bits of it.
They-
It was like around the early 2000s, roughly.
yeah,
On
yeah. So
10
they
or 11 in the morning.
so they
on
made him
Saturday.
white. I mean, they made his dad a racist white guy, and I'm like, you know, it's actually more powerful showing these two guys as friends, where their race never comes into play, is much more powerful than trying to guilt people into feeling bad just because they're born a different race, right? Because, again, if you're, you know, the whole point of that is to say, well, you know, he's racist, racism happens or whatever, but isn't it much more inclusive and better optics to show Richie and Virgil being friends with no like racial shit playing a factor? Because all these people don't what these people don't realize is that when they do this, they just keep racism alive. They keep groups of black people having a chip on their shoulder against history against white people, and it keeps the white people constantly reminded, like, hey, I can't even fucking interact with these people without somehow race being a factor. So all it does is create more divide. We don't need more activism. I think anybody who's sane knows racism is retarded. And anybody who's who's still like on that, they're literally just a racist. You're not going to change them because you're complaining on a kid's cartoon.
Exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
I try to say something.
Yeah.
Even though from the gym, even though that guy saying that he like Rise and Rowan, but I felt like I told him, have you seen how the mainstream media trying their best to put like low rating on Rise and Rowan? Because I felt like
I've noticed that too. Yeah.
They know they don't
Especially,
like.
I don't know if you've seen Gaming Bolt, that YouTube channel, Gaming Bolt.
What
They were up like a couple of videos about it, like just like here's what how Ghost of Tsushima clowns Rise of the Ronin. I'm like, damn, this thing just came out. And in the comments like, damn.
You want to know the thing is, so people were throwing shit on Ghost of Tsushima as well when it came out.
That's
Yep.
About how
Yeah.
the character wasn't female.
Mhm.
Oh,
Like, oh, for fuck's sake.
and they goddamn say, oh, why is it there was some bisexual woman in the game? I say,
Oh
where
yeah.
is that woman bisexual? There is no
Yeah,
bisexual woman. And they're saying, oh, people playing like Ghost of Tsushima game are homophobics. Because the fact, like, what is it? Those people play Ghost of Tsushima are absolutely homophobes. But
Didn't they imply some kind of relationship between two women in Ghost of Tsushima? Is that what you guys are referring to?
That I don't know about.
Wasn't there like some backstory where like the woman was like a maid or something, or some kind of like house servant, something like that, and she was
right?
and it was a side quest, and because I basically did, like, I think I did everything in that game, and like it was something along the lines of like she had a relationship with not the head of household, not the patriarch, but like with the woman, the queen or whatever, something weird like that. I don't fully remember.
I think I know what you're talking about. Was it older woman?
It was an older woman, and then
Yeah,
she was killed, or she was like rejected, or she killed the husband, or something along those lines. But again, like, nobody, like, I hate to say it, but in the end, well, I don't hate to say it. I don't hate to say it at all, but like, no one cares. Like, no one cares if you're gay. No one cares if you're bisexual.
Weren't thinking about that anyway.
No one cared. No one plays these games and like, wow, I'm glad they preached to me in Spider-Man 2 or in Ghost of Tsushima. Now I'm enlightened. I can go about the world equipped with less racism now, or whatever.
Yeah,
like, no one's thinking that way.
cares if you're black, bro, no one don't cares. That's simple. And bro, like,
Or the same thing with I just want to say something real quick, because people always talk about like, oh, male gaze or whatever, and it's just jealousy from a lot of these freaking activists and people that have hijacked the gaming and media industry, because a lot of them are depressed. A lot of these people are depressed women.
Yeah, depressed as fuck, bro.
Depressed women
miserable
who don't want who don't want to accept reality. They don't want to better themselves. Everything is everyone else's fault. So in these games, they don't like seeing women that are attractive,
Don't
well
forget
liked or
about the
anything like that.
turkey
Yeah,
They
neck
just
that,
want to
that's
women.
project their own
The
insecurities
turkey
onto
neck
others.
women.
yeah.
Yeah, they want to
And
project
also
their
the
own
shows. Let's
insecurities
talk
onto
about the
others.
shows too. Let's talk about shows from Dead
Uh, but,
Space, Assassin's
I
Creed.
don't mean to interrupt you, Reborn, but I wanted to actually add on to the point you had mentioned about Ghost of Tsushima, where they were complaining before about the game. It's the same thing what's happening with Stellar Blade, where now they're
Hmm.
using characters like 2B from Nier Automata, or
Oh,
what was that game? Fuck,
Bane.
Bayonetta,
Yeah,
or
Yeah,
even characters like that, where prior they were complaining about how it's problematic, it's sexist, and all this other shit, and a bunch of horny men are playing the game.
sexist just means that though that you're attracted to the characters or that the characters aren't feminist propaganda. As long
Yeah,
because even if
No,
the
no,
characters
no,
look
no,
tame,
no, no.
because you
Sexist
hear
is when a woman hears an opinion from a man she
yeah
doesn't like.
yeah because here's the thing. Here's a study I read, and I believe it's true. I know it's true for a fact. Just because like it just makes sense. Also, that women are having more sex than men, right?
Mhm.
And what that means is but men and women have sex. How can one have more sex than the other? Because more women are having sex with like the upper tier of men, with upper tier up with they're sharing men, which means that like that women, because like all right, even these characters like Nicole from Dead Space or whatever. I mean, she looks like shit, right? In the game, the way they warped her face, she'll have no problem finding a man being old and looking like that. Men and women have different psychology toward mating and all this shit, right? So
that's
so we have different
The
psychology
thing is,
toward these things.
you see what I find so mad? It's like women nowadays who are in the working class want to date outside of their class completely and leave their
Yes,
class behind and then look down upon the same people they came up
Yep.
with.
that's
exactly.
true. That's
Like
true.
ladies,
And
it's like
mhm.
nah. And you wonder why them top guys ain't staying loyal because they're at the
But
top and they're thinking, bitch, do you really think I'm gonna settle down for you when I can have 10?
exactly the point that I was gonna make. Exactly what you
Yeah,
said. Because in the end of the day, right? Like people have to accept reality.
Always think
What
they could change these men and it never fucking
look,
works.
even the ugliest woman in the world, not ugliest woman in the world, but even one of the most, even ugly or average women or even obese women, they will have no problem finding a man. It'll just be a man she doesn't want. Like the thing that they don't tell you is that most women women think most men are disgusting. Period. And I'm not saying that because of like
yeah,
like in
that's
a
true.
in a hateful way. What I mean by disgusting is like they're unattracted to them. They're like completely
Yeah,
like they're
that's true.
completely indifferent to them. Like that's what I mean by like they find them disgusting. They just like because of that, that's why all the feminist shit that they try to project is just that it's a projection because
Mhm.
Yeah,
they want to portray low level women being bosses, leaders, or whatever, and interacting with high value men, right? But when you have sexy women portrayed in
Hold on,
media,
let me add to that. 1 minute they're strong, independent boss bitches, and then the second they're victim of men.
exactly,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
It's like make up your mind. You can't be a boss and be a victim. Which one is it?
Exactly.
How many times
Exactly.
do you see like CEOs out here getting victimized?
Right.
Yeah. And my whole point with all this is just that like people don't want to accept reality. Like women that
Yeah,
are like less attractive don't want to accept that they have to become better women in order to engage with a
Oh,
person of value.
remember
And men
10.
and
Remember
men
10, guys, because I feel that way.
exactly.
Doesn't matter what I actually am, as long as I
Yeah.
feel that way. That's all
Fuck,
that matters.
fuck reality. Screw reality. As long as I feel that way, and that's the point. And
even
then
though
men, and then
Can't
men,
stand people like that though. It's
I
like,
can't stand it
oh,
either. But that's
Yeah.
most of what you have in the modern gaming industry now. And
yeah,
with the men's side of things, a lot of men don't want to better themselves, make money, get in shape or whatever. And then they also, I mean, like, to be fair, they complain why they can't get higher
you wanna
level
know
women.
what's really
And
shitty? Because a lot of these guys who end up going there just find out a load of the women are shitty.
yeah,
Guys who
yeah,
actually actually get their
I-
lives on track, it's like, damn.
Yeah. Then you read. Then you. Yep.
way just to find
Mhm.
out how the world really is.
Because
Yeah,
it's human nature. That's what I'm saying. It's human nature, and people don't want to accept the reality of it. So
Yeah.
there's gonna be people
It's
with
like the show.
advantages. There's gonna be women that are just super attractive, and they're gonna get invited on the yachts. They're gonna get invited to like the concerts and stuff just because they're beautiful, right? And there's gonna
Yeah.
be men that are like good looking. They're just good at whatever they are. They're a pro in their field, and they're gonna excel and get women to gravitate toward them. And I mean, usually on the male aspect, it's usually built more through hard work and like merit, while with women, it's like inherited value from how they were born, usually. So my whole point with this is that until people accept this dichotomy, that's why you end up seeing things like, I don't like that there's attractive women that men want because I don't fit that criteria and it breaks my ego and delusion. That's basically what it is, right? And
It's
all their
like-
arguments, all their arguments fall under that category. So I'm not a person who complains about women really, because like I said, I'm tall, I'm good looking, I take care of myself. It's not a confidence issue for me. It's not a confidence issue for me, right?
Yeah.
Like I hit the gym or whatever, but I accept it as reality of the situation.
Like, when
Yeah.
I'm playing as a guy who's physically superior to me or who's good looking, never in my life did I ever get jealous of the character's features.
Exactly.
Like I'm not like it. Like I know this might sound weird, but I'm not even in that mind. That's not even on my mind in any way, shape, or form.
Yes,
when I am
exactly.
playing the game, like I don't understand how do these people have this mindset and play the game, because you're not actually paying attention to the game. You're just paying attention to the skin color of the NPCs and the characters.
Exactly.
So when
Well,
you're
remember
doing that,
Mhm.
and or if they're always worried about or complaining about constantly seeing white characters, it's like, so when you're in a cutscene, you're not actually listening and paying attention to the situation that's at hand. You're looking at everybody's race. So
Yeah,
like, if you're
or
playing
their
Metal
sex.
Gear, or if you're like playing Metal Gear Solid 4, like how did these people manage to cope? And mostly that game is cutscenes.
Because when that game came out, the gaming industry wasn't high. The gaming industry wasn't hijacked the way it is now. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the people in this space, right now are tourists. They're people that picked up gaming because
that game came out when like shit games like back then used to die off and nobody used to know about them. Like remember, like back before the internet. So like if a game was not propped up, nobody would really know about it and it would just flop. But
it'll flop.
If the game flops, everybody fucking knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the internet for you.
And guys, can I tell you this before we speak? Because right now we need to discuss about why is it, like I said, because when it comes down to the Shills and also what is it, the behind the scenes what they do, because I see some of them trying their best to like be like smart, but they just really want everything to be around blah 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 them, and also they always lose like the argument all the damn time, bro. What is it? We came on the Marvel. Let's see for a game, for example, the Marvel games. Look what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Look what happened when the shows came and talk. Flop. And also we came to see. Guess what? I heard DC gonna shut down. Where's all those shows? Because apparently that game license is gonna end soon.
Well, let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard anybody that's a hater or tearing somebody else down doing well in their own life or doing well with their own business? The answer is usually no, right? Because if you're on the internet complaining about, like, for example, because here's the thing. Like, all right, I just want to explain something real quick, so bear with me, okay? You have people that, like, if you play Metal Gear 2, there's a cutscene at the end where it talks about, like, with the AI, with the kernel, where it talks about how people always look for someone else to blame. They're comfortable in their little ecosystems, their little, like, echo chambers and little ponds, right? But and that people, whenever they are confronted with the truth, they'll just try to find a new convenient truth to justify like the bullshit that they're saying, right?
Yeah.
So for example,
That's the
it could
thing.
be a thing like what we were talking about with Nier Automata, right? Nier Automata was terrible and all this stuff according to these people, but now that another game came out that's following suit, now all of a sudden history has changed and that game actually respects female characters, even though that game was heavily criticized for that. And like
Yeah.
their narrative has
It's like
changed. What quote unquote the truth was to them has totally changed. So I think that really, like, in the end of all these like conversations, they really just come down to people that that accept the truth and people that don't want to accept the truth, and that they feel like everyone else has to play ball with what they're feeling. And
The truth is too patriarchal.
it's too patriarchal. Yeah, exactly. And I think
Logic
that'll just
is something created by the patriarchy.
and all of it, and that's pretty funny, but all of it just comes down to that. I can't cope with reality, so I need everyone else to agree with my lie. But the thing is that
I
even if
would
everyone
be trapped in the bubble of my head. I need
exactly
to stay daydream.
everyone
Although,
needs to agree with my personal bubble and beliefs. And that what people don't understand, and most people learn too late in life, is that you can lie to everyone. You can have everyone believe your lie. You can lie to yourself, but in the end of the day, you're gonna deep down know it's a lie, and you'll always be unhappy, right? That's why like
yeah,
things like the trans ideology fall on their head. That's why games that have like female leads that are like, you know, woke propaganda that defy reality, that's why they don't do well. That's why they have to say, well, they're doing good because the game sold this much. Meanwhile, the game made $100 million, but if the budget is 90 million, then that means that they only gained 10 million in profit. So yeah, it profited, but that doesn't mean that they're going to get a sequel. That means it did bad. So
And not to mention the cut that every time they make a purchase on any game store, the game store takes a cut out of every sale.
yeah. Right now,
exactly.
I'm glad. Let me say this. I'm glad majority of the player base talk about Ubisoft removed the crew online. I'm glad how majority of the fans saying we're not gonna trust Ubisoft again. And where those shells are? Where are them? No defense.
But what I don't
And
understand is they didn't even bother to make an offline mode for that game.
Yeah.
because it's like these businesses and these corporations, they're not being run by people anymore. They're being run by committees. A committee is a collective hive of people working on something. It has to have a congruent focus, right? So you have like the actual like gameplay developers doing things like, well, we want to make the game have this feature, this cool feature. We want them to be able to do this and that. Those are usually like the people that just love making games, right? Usually. Then you have the narrative director saying, well, yeah, that's cool, but we need to add this politics. We need to appeal to this market. Then you have the investors. Well, we don't want the game too violent because we want to make as much back. We need the game to sell to everyone. You have so many different like places that the game is being stretched into, right? Like something like The Crew, where instead of being just like a fun racing game, because The Crew's a racing game from what I remember, right?
Yeah, it is.
Instead of being a fun racing game, it has to be a game as a service that can generate revenue for the next 10 years. But what they don't understand is that that's not something that you can artificially orchestrate. Right?
That's true, bro.
It has to be something that's so good that it organically becomes something that people want to play for prolonged periods. Like, for example, Gears of War, right? I don't know if you guys remember the Gears of War 2, 3, and 1 online community. People played those games for years. They still play them now. You can argue that's a game as a service in a way because people are playing that online mode consistently, right? So, if people were playing those games, that's an organically fun game that was never intended as a game as a service, but then they can apply game as a service elements too. So they can make it, hey, you guys, thanks for playing the game for 3 years. You could purchase one of these skins, or you can purchase this for your weapon or whatever. But the game already has a solid fan base. It already cemented itself as something that people want to do. So I think that when you go into a game saying, when you go into a product, you're making a product and you're saying, well, we want this to be a game as a service. You already lost. What you should be making is a fun multiplayer game and hope people stick around long enough where you can implement that stuff. If they really wanted to do it. So, like the whole thing is just like gaming right now is just like in a place where
Triple
where
A.
you could find games that you want to enjoy and have fun with, but in the end of the day, like all these corporations are just they're just greedy, and their greed has absolutely corrupted and ruined gaming, just like it ruined Hollywood, just like it ruined comic books, just like it ruined everything else. And the last thing I want to say before, I'll shut up for a second, but the last thing I want to say is that people talk about like, oh well, we want to buy, we want people to buy these games, like, oh well, well, this game did bad because of the angry white people, the angry males, the angry whatever. But if there was enough of the people that thought like you did,
Toxic gamers, Dan, toxic gamer.
You
yeah,
know, every time they
toxic.
keep doing that, like, and I know exactly that's exactly how they say it in them press or them board meetings after the game flops. Like, it's the angry white males,
Yeah,
and then the guys that they're saying it to, it's like, okay, then we make
they don't know shit
video
about gaming.
games. Okay,
Exactly.
back up. We make video games for angry white males. Then
Gaming,
clearly our games
yeah.
flopped.
Exactly. And then these people don't know shit about gaming. Gaming's just part of their portfolio. That's some guy who's an oil sheik and just wants to have a return on his investment. So he's listening to these people in good faith, and they're lying to him, saying, "Oh well, the game flopped because of these people." But I remember, if there was enough people that thought like they did, right, then the game should be doing well. Because you could make a Stellar Blade, and that appeals to a mass majority of gamers, even women, even gay people. I was actually explaining this to Revenant. I don't know if you remember the conversation, Revenant, but basically saying that, hey, if you like, there's the gay people that are into like the ultra feminized, like, I don't know how to explain it, like the supermodel, like Tyra Banks, whatever, like glam. I guess you could call it glam, right? That are into like the glam shit. They're gonna enjoy that game because Eve is like basically a doll for them to play with, right? If you have the women that want that power fantasy of being a sexy female, they're gonna play that game and enjoy it. The men are obviously gonna be able to see something attractive. The gameplay is good, so real gamers have something with depth to actually enjoy, right? Something with depth to invest in.
Though now. Okay.
So I just want to finish saying this. So when a game is like that, you can be assured it's probably going to sell well. I don't need to convince people. I don't need to go on the internet screaming. People's natural inclinations are going to lead them to buy it, and that's like the big difference. All these people online complaining, there's just not enough of them. They're loud, but there's not enough of them to justify, making these games anymore. Yeah. And until these people that are investing money that are not like that are they wisen up and learn what's really going on, it's going to keep happening. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'll stay quiet now. I've been going on and on.
You're proving right. But like, I want to say this too, because right now I would say Stellar Blade's doing well, and look what happened. Majority of its own views liking this game because it's great. And look what happened to these small groups. They been outnumbered by majority people, and the only thing that putting the game aside is it's just only the game website trying their best to trash on that female like Eve, because they cannot at least accept reality, because that's piecing to its real views and its customer base. And right now many of those ugly ass women are so but and I see many of the gay people. I see a little bit on Twitter, like
it doesn't matter how ugly you make the women, men ain't gonna date you.
Wait, I'm sorry. What were you saying? I didn't hear you. Spirit of Paradox.
Oh, I was saying it doesn't matter how many times you put an ugly woman in your main character in your game, it ain't gonna make guys want to date you.
It's not going to make the guys. It's not going to make the guys they want to date them. It's not going to make the top 3% of males want to date them, right?
Yeah,
because to them,
Mary Jane situation where it's actually the writer of the game, and I basically the entire internet for like months was calling her ugly, and it's like, madam.
Well, she had that bloated Minnesota head.
That jawline, like, madam, your jawline is as masculine as Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. Like there ain't no way you was gonna think Like, there's no way she could have thought like, yo, nobody was gonna notice the difference with me Jane from the first game to the second. She was like, nah, nobody's gonna notice. People are just gonna like the game. But no, we had to see our ugly ass chin and jawline.
And and she was no looker in the first game either. Because I mean, I'm not dissing the model. The model that she's based off,
like Markiplier.
kind of.
That's them too.
That's true. Yeah.
Lord
But-
Farquaad face.
Lord Farquaad. I called her as soon as I saw her. I told Revenant she looks like Lord Farquaad. and then I compared it to Rocky Dennis. But like, but the thing is, right? Like, back to like what we were talking about, they want a certain percentage. They want a certain type of man to want them. So they're trying to publicly push as much of that in media as they can, because the self-hating feminist doesn't actually hate men. They're resentful to men because they don't have the advantages that other women have, right? Like either more attractive or whatever. But what these women don't realize is they make themselves more attractive through their ideology as well, because you can have a woman that's maybe not as attractive as someone else, but maybe she's more feminine. She has more of the other qualities that you want in a woman. But instead of doing that, and instead of taking care of themselves, they resort to, all right, well, all men are bad. I'm going to blame everyone else. And that's going to be the hill that I die on.
Yeah, but
the thing is, right, they're so entrenched in their own misery. They can't fathom that other people are in the exact same situation as her.
Exactly.
Yep. But handle it far better and actually use it to improve and make adjustments, you know?
Like girls think like this guy. Go on.
Yeah, like I said, because even though you got half majority women, even like, you know, female figure characters being attractive, and the only women or feminists complaining is the ugly one. Just get mad for everything. And even though they're probably around maybe the 30s or probably around the 40s, I would say 40 and 50s, they cry about everything when they see attractive female video game character, and they still moan and whine.
Well, keep in mind they don't see people like you, Reborn, or like not just. I'm not say like you, like people in general. They don't see gamers as men that are worth anything. It's like I said before, they think that they're disgusted by them. They're like, oh, these guys play video games all day. They're not the alpha males. They just don't like that they just don't like that what's being portrayed in games isn't like congruent with their beliefs. That's all it's about, right? So they're not going to
know why they can't get the guys that they want. It's because they're a feminist.
Exactly.
It's you look like a 10, but when you spew that feminist rhetoric, you go down to a 4. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, you were looking good, madam, but that patriarchy word came out of your mouth. I want to go home and bun a spliff. That's me. It's like, oh. Oh man, this is like literally you were doing so well, but you fell off the edge. That playing Uncharted, right? And you're doing some climbing mechanic. It's like, oh, you were doing so well to climb, and then you drop to your death, and the screen goes gray, but there ain't no respawn. It's like, nah, madam, I don't even want to be around you.
Like I said, man, a woman could be really mid but have such a good personality, or like vibe well, not say all this like dumbass patriarchy shit, actually have some sense, and that could just raise her attractiveness level up by so much. But like as men, we learn to make up for our flaws, whatever they may be, not by hating the game, but coming up with a better strategy for success. That's what
we don't get the privilege to complain and get dates, because normally when we complain on our dates, that's an instant turn off for women.
Well, and normally it's people don't give a fuck. People don't give a fuck. Other men don't want to hear men complain, and women don't want to hear men complain either, because in the end of the day, you know, they don't have the self-awareness to realize, like a lot of feminists don't realize that what they don't want from men is the same shit that they are unable to, like you said before, like just can't just not be a fucking modern feminist. They have to like really push these narratives and then wonder why they're 40 and alone with several kids, right? And it's crazy.
And being a baby mom after 30 over here is a death sentence. It's like, yo,
Yeah.
it's kind of
So,
peak.
yeah. So it's like it's not a thing, you know. And some people might interpret this conversation as like, oh, hating women or nothing. It's not hating women. I love women.
It's
I
like,
love
no,
women.
honestly, I think it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Like when it comes down, don't get it twisted. There are some fucking misogynists out here. Don't get that.
Oh yeah.
Twisted. But
For
like,
sure.
when it comes down to this online and who's doing it, it's women saying men are trash. A man can't go say that and get a bunch of likes and support. The first thing people are gonna say, you're a misogynist, go get a job, you incel, all of that. Well, when a woman says, "Oh, men are trash,"
Bro.
it's like, "Oh, I hear you, girl. Like you do you. You're a queen," and all of that. And it's just like, that's just gonna put people on the wrong path in life. If you're giving people the wrong advice just to make them feel better. Sorry.
Yeah. Can I say something though? Because right now, you got those type of dudes. Even though I'm glad they make exposed, like, you know, the fresh and fit, and also you know them modern shows like, you know, Destiny and others trying their best to say, oh, don't try to like look for women and all that, but they're all simple for women. Just saying goes for like, what is it, Ackman, a Young Year, off this propaganda bullshit.
The thing is, though, I got respect for Young Year because I was watching him when he was just doing Metal Gear Solid videos.
No, he became a show, man.
Yeah,
you know,
when
he became a show.
Actor. Yeah, when he became a voice actor, it's like, nah, bro. Like, you know how the industry works.
Yeah,
it was him, then Chris Stuckman. Like,
okay.
Chris Stuckman destroyed himself, bro.
Like, after that review about how he didn't want to say anything bad, and it's like, how the hell am I supposed to trust what you say in your reviews if you don't want to say anything bad to save your career?
Like Madden Web.
Exactly.
Oh,
you know what? Like, honestly, in my opinion, I think if you're a movie maker, that should give you more merit to be more of a critic. But no, it really is. No, you can't criticize our shit and work in Hollywood.
Yeah. But I think also people have a mentality where they think like, all right, if I talk badly about this thing, then I'm gonna be mobbed. I think like, it's not even just the industry. I think like a lot of these people, they like, you have 1 million subscribers, and he's like, and you have like somebody like Young Yeah, where like, if I don't take the quote unquote popular approach, maybe I'll lose 200,000 followers. Maybe my viewership will decline, right? And you got to think about somebody like him who, when you become big enough as a YouTuber, you start to say, oh, well, I don't want to work a normal job. I could talk shit about video games all day. Hell yeah, I mean, like, a lot of people would take that, right? Of course, over a 9 to 5. And when they do that, they're like, well, yeah, or Angry Ho. Like,
Angry Ho show.
They feel like, all right, well, I can't afford to lose any subscribers because this is my job now. So I need that number to be as big as possible. And if saying a man and woman can't change their gender is going to hurt that, then I guess 2 + 2 = 5. That's most of Hollywood, and that's most of these YouTubers.
See, so just now you explained Angry Joe's situation down to a T.
Yeah, and that's how it is.
He bent the knee, and then he became like a political correct shill. It's like, bro, when you was the guy talking the realest shit in gaming, like back in the day, and then it's like, now you're not even angry. You just fat now, Joe.
He's politically calm Joe now.
Politically neutered Joe.
Politically neutered Joe, yeah.
But he's a fat man like Ackman, you know, fat man, but I would say he's not fat.
And you see him as well, the actor man. So
he is a dumbass.
I was fine with him. I didn't even know there was passive between as until the second occurrence, right?
He can't
And
on
then
TV though.
yeah, and then Atman did that bullshit response. It's like, brother, like I had to go do my research on that. It's like, Atman, you don't understand. Do you know what you just said to my man? Like you want him to get shot with a tranquilizer. There ain't no like after someone, if you say something like that, it's not talking. When I see you, it's mad. Like,
Yeah, bro. That nah.
we're not
Who the
talking.
fuck call
Like
that
no video. I'm not
Aguila?
even gonna it's not even a situation of having a conversation now. It's
It's
what the
on
fuck
site.
do you mean?
Nah,
Yeah.
You
it
get
is
me? It's like, what the fuck
real
do you mean you
personal,
want me to get shot? Or if I'm
personal
as, for
type of shit, bro.
example. Yeah,
Nah.
it's like after that, it's like nah, we don't. Nah, there is no talking.
Well,
Watch when I
Re-
see.
So,
Revenant, what are your thoughts on things?
what are your
You've been
thoughts on it? Yeah,
because you've been silent this whole time.
yeah. We need you, Revenant. Revenant.
Oh shit!
Maybe
Oh
he's muted.
yeah! Oh shit!
Maybe
We're
he
live, ain't we? Oh shit! I completely forgot this is live. My apologies.
yeah because that feels like
Rolling
a natural
Yep.
conversation, right? That's what it feels like. It should feel like a natural conversation.
Revenant.
Um,
Yeah.
I'm rolling one. I can't put like no one can hear it or anything like that.
No, I couldn't hear it at all. Honestly, if you never said anything, like I wouldn't. I don't think anybody would have known. To be frank,
Doing what?
rolling one.
What's about Aquaman situation? What he said as and also about quantity TV too, but not but for first Aquaman. Let's talk about Aquaman. What he said about as what's he thought about it, Revenant?
Oh, because
Yep.
the Starfield thing you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. So, heel versus babyface, or as
Yeah.
he was streaming. I'm gonna try to explain like what a lot of people kept running with the same like false narrative about that whole thing, and the fact that a
Yep.
lot of people did not even correct themselves when proven wrong about it. So a
Yep.
lot of
Yep.
people were coming up with this idea that he was heel versus babyface was streaming Starfield, and he was within the character creator, and where in the character creator there's pronouns that you have to pick. So anyone saying, "Oh, you can't pick," or "You got to do whatever," you got to pick the
Mandatory.
pronouns.
It's
It's
mandatory.
mandatory. Yep. So whatever is the default there, you got pronouns no matter what. Doesn't matter which one you pick, or if you leave it by default, doesn't matter. It's still gonna be you're gonna have pronouns. So people were running with the narrative that he was only in the character creation screen when he did his rant about the pronouns. However, what really happened was he was several hours within the game when an NPC was talking to him to his character, and she basically was explaining to him because I believe it was a party member or someone, whichever, those RPG games where you talk to a
It doesn't
recurring
matter
character,
anyway.
and
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
they explain like certain things about their past and all that. I mean, you see it before in games like Mass Effect and all that, or Dragon Age or whatever, where so she was explaining how she was basically what the hell was it? Her brain was switched from a man to a woman.
Yeah, it was
I
like
forgot exactly
she's
as
a
to why.
clone. It's a woman's
Yeah,
brain in a
clone.
male
Yeah,
clone's body. Isn't that what it was?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
something along those lines. And I believe the reason why that happened was, I think he was originally like a soldier, and some like shit happened where a lot of people, like other comrades, had died and barely survived. So then they switched the brain to a woman, like a woman's body, and so that's basically what set him off, because it's like the game has other forms of propaganda in there. You have a nightclub where you have these just like black trans sexuals in there, or it might be a black gay men or something like that, but they have other characters that are like, all the LGBT shit. They have a lot of the factions within the game. A lot of them are led by females, and they have like these like um girl boss type of characters and dialogue going on. there's a mug that you pick up that says "Don't ever apologize for being a fucking woman or a badass woman" or some shit like that. And
Yeah.
a lot of like subliminal
Bullshit
messages
propaganda.
within a lot of
You
subliminal
know how
messages
many
within the game.
feminists would
And
Yeah.
love the world to be like Wonder Woman's place?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
What's it called again? What's
So-
that
Oh,
place called?
Demascara. Demascara.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But
so
you know,
basically, Ackman was going off on heel versus babyface on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. And about it, and basically making fun of him, also making a lot of fat jokes and all that and shit like that. A lot of shit that's kind of irrelevant. And a lot of people were making fun of him as well because of his rant, because it's something that we're all tired of. And it's like they make these games, they're boring, they're full of propaganda, there's no escapism whatsoever. They do all this shit on purpose.
Low quality.
And no quality whatsoever. They're broken and buggy, but they make sure they have their propaganda in there. The
And
propaganda
their
works just fine.
microtransactions.
can't
And
forget
all
those.
that
Yeah.
too, yeah. Then they want to charge you $70 or more and shit on their games.
And
it's
the Shills
still a mess.
cry.
There's no innovation. Yeah,
No innovation.
And the Shills cry.
Zero
about,
innovation.
Bring it
left and
PS5.
right.
Bring it to PlayStation 5. But how it's supposed to be in PlayStation 5 and it's completely buggy and broken as fuck.
Yeah, what's the point? So why would
Yeah.
anyone want it when it doesn't even
Shills.
fucking work? So you're gonna be begging for something that's gonna be possibly broken or even worse, because then it's like they gotta bring to something else, and they still may not give a fuck because they want to make it seem like, well,
But they got your money already. They got your money already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yep. So months later, Ackman's all of a sudden, this guy who commentates about shit that goes on within the gaming industry, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I just heard about Sweet Baby Inc. for the first time, and I looked it up, and now that it's convenient and perfectly safe to take the side of being against Sweet Baby Inc., now he wants to jump on that bandwagon to capitalize on what everyone else has been saying for months. Because keep in mind, Heel versus the Babyface was talking about Sweet Baby Inc. since Alan Wake 2 came out, and I even made a video where I had even showed the same clip. I think it was about brand loyalty. The video I did several months ago, I showed the clip where he explained what Sweet Baby Inc. is in regards to what's that shit? Alan Wake 2, and also was discovered that they worked on Spider-Man 2, which also came out not that long before Alan Wake 2 came out. So, Ackman, and then people were like, Heel versus Babyface was right. Heel versus Babyface quote tweeted what Ackman said. He said, "Guess I was right the whole time." And then they went back and forth. And Ackman, I'd be like, well, maybe we should talk about it in the debate or whatever. And
because he looks stupid and he needed a safe face.
He looks so dumb, bro.
And Heel versus Babyface declined because he knows it's the same thing with other people where it's like, why don't you come and debate us here or whatever? It's like, no, because I know what it's gonna be. It's not gonna.
They're gonna gang up on you,
bro.
Exactly.
Like that. Oh, go on, bro. Go on.
I'm gonna tell you this because what is it? Me and Rever got tagged by somebody because the fact due to the Dead Space remake, when me and Rever explained what's going on, how many fans were disappointed of the story and also the gameplay atmosphere. Some motherfucker tag us in. Reverend, do you know this guy name or something?
You want me to say his name?
Yeah.
Don't say his name. Don't say his name. Don't give him any clout.
Okay. So
don't give him clout.
Okay.
He's a bitch. That's basically it.
Okay. He's like a drama channel with almost 500 subscribers. Dedicates his channel talking about other people.
Yeah.
And a bunch
disingenuous.
of disingenuous and comes across as a centrist from what I gathered.
If you're a disingenuous bitch, if you're disingenuous and a centrist, you're a bitch. That's my opinion.
I agree. Yep. Yeah.
That makes you a bitch.
So the way I look at it is a lot of centrists usually are people who are on the left but just don't want to admit it because they know they know the stigma that comes with it. So they just try to play both sides, make it seem like it is. But then if you notice their patterns with the different
then they're leftists. They're just leftists.
Yeah.
They're just leftists.
Yeah.
So leftists who are afraid to admit they're leftists.
Yeah. So on that same community post, he tagged me, Reborn, and the other people who were involved. That also won't be named because fuck them.
Yes, bro.
And keep in mind, this whole Dead Space thing was talked about over about a year ago.
Yeah.
Over and done with. So this guy clearly just wants to start drama.
Yeah.
He just wants the
Called him out on his
clout.
bullshit.
He wants the
Yeah.
views for that clout,
He
for
wants the
that
views,
drama.
you know, all
Yeah.
that. None of the people who were involved in those back and forth videos did not show up to his stream.
Exactly.
But
Yeah, honestly, it's pathetic. It's just pathetic.
Yeah, I called him out on it. He didn't like it, and
Exactly, bro.
so
Well, you remember I embarrassed him in that stream too. He joined a live stream. I'm not going to mention names that I was in, and I saw him in the comments, and I called him out for his BS as well because he tried to act like he's watching a guy who's like definitely against all the woke shit. He's not a centrist, as far as I know. And he was in the comments acting like he agrees about the Sweet Baby Inc. stuff or whatever. But meanwhile, he's like arguing and going against what Revenant is saying, which is in line with that. So, just a grifter who wants attention and wants clout from anywhere he can.
That's true. Because he wants to be Keemstar, I would say, aka Clownstar. He wants to be Keemstar.
A lot of these people what people don't get is that a lot of these YouTubers they do like a pyramid game. So they want to start off with small YouTubers talking about this stuff, right? And try to build up their clout so they get like 1,000, 2,000 subs. Then they want to go on like other podcasts or talk about even bigger YouTubers, and it's just it's basically a pyramid scheme for them. So
yeah, like those do it enough until people notice and actually give them the attention they're looking for.
Yeah, but they basically start with like a channel that's like a smaller but like modest channel like Revenant's channel or whatever. He has like 3,000 subs, 4,000 subs or whatever, and then they're gonna try to like they try to use those people to like use them as like rungs on a ladder to climb up, but they don't actually care about either subject, or they're like a leftist and they're just pretending to be neutral until the channel gets big enough where it doesn't matter anymore. And they have people defending them.
That's true because they want a damn tension, bro. I'm telling you, like, I don't want to.
He seems like a bitch to me.
Guys,
definitely is a bitch.
YouTubers out. I want to give you some example of a full-on degenerate, and we see a lot of YouTubers like destroy their careers like path. For example, we know Hassan Piker.
Yeah.
Look at flop, and we got this huge YouTuber, which I used to watch years ago, but I stopped watching because he's full on degenerate. We got this dumbass YouTuber called Tipster, and he legit constantly defend, I would say, a absolutely pedophile. And
oh my god.
And basically, his channel been destroyed. Yeah, full on destroyed. It's the same thing like EDP 45, but I call him Fat Pedo 45. That's
a PDF file.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's the safe way to go about it.
Yeah.
PDF file.
Yeah,
but yeah.
And basically, what is it? Tipster, his own channel has been removed from YouTube due to the divorce situation. This, I don't know, this full-on degenerate called Vosh. Yeah.
Oh, Vosh?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen some stuff from him before.
Yeah, Tipster went and defend Vosh. And what is it? And this guy, when we come to like other mass YouTube content creator call out Tipster, for example, he constantly defend this transgender woman or whatever, or maybe men. He went in and legit defend this transgender woman. It's called like the Game Mars. Have you heard about this YouTube name called the Game Mars or something?
No. Gamer, like gay and then Mers at the end.
I think it's called the Game Mars.
Game Mods? Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of it.
Well, basically, I will say this. So it's the gamer from Mars, I would say.
Gamer from Mars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tipster went and defend this type of this trans dude. And what this trans dude do on his YouTube channel, he go insane. Because I see many massive YouTubers talk about Chris Chan and all that fiasco.
Okay.
Yeah. Tipster went in and defend her, and the fact what is it? One look at maybe his videos, how wasn't masses.
I think you met him.
Yeah. Look at how many people understand the situation why his channel been declined, because I think apparently maybe around 2021, Tipsa went and cheated on her own wife to simp for a transgender person. Yeah, Tipsa constantly divorced his own wife so he can simp for a transgender dude.
Well, that's horrible. But
Yeah,
like with these people, man, like
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I don't really even care about their personal lives. I don't care if they like penis. I don't care if they want to change their gender. I don't care what it is. I think the problem with
yeah,
all this stuff is that they try to drag everyone else into their insanity.
yeah,
And
exactly, bro. That's
I
true.
think that the only way they're gonna really get what they want is if they learn to leave people the fuck alone and respect other people and understand that they don't like it and they don't have to like it. And when they start accepting that, I think it'll be better for them. You know what I'm talking about? Not gay people, but I'm talking about like trans people and shit like that in general. Like you can do whatever you want to do, but leave people the hell alone. People don't
Yeah,
have to co-sign your insanity. People don't have to co-sign with what everything that you do, right? But if you're not harming anyone else in infringing on other people's beliefs, then it's your right to do that. So it's one of those things where like you can't on one hand say that people have to respect your beliefs, but then not respect other people's beliefs, if that makes any sense.
yeah, that's true.
So
Mhm.
I just feel like a lot of these people, like they're disingenuous. They are playing a game. I actually mentioned something about Sweet Baby Inc. I wanted to touch on. A lot of people now, there's a lot of leftists that are against Sweet Baby Inc. because they're so stupid that they're just blindly going with the backlash
Hey,
against it and don't even realize what they're actually against. Because then when
hey,
you bring it up, then those people don't understand what exactly it is.
Hey, in Jampatia, I ain't gonna call it no leftist. I'll call it far fake DEI, like far fake diversity, equity, inclusion, because that's that's the thing they're titled from now on for my channel, far fake DEI. Because
Yeah.
I thought, let's be honest, I thought them people care about diversity. Where are they throughout the years, through the set expectations and throughout the movie, the video game? Where? What is it? Let me tell you what's the result. Online, and that's it. You sit there, and you sit next to CNN, and also what is it, IGN and Kotaku, and y'all pack yourself to the damn back. Y'all ain't there for the gaming. Y'all aren't there for the damn mass watching the movie. And what is it? Me and goddamn Mr. Messiah and Oscar like say, well, here we go. Set expectation down. I thought I thought they care about their own gender. But I think y'all constantly like scam your own damn audience, and that's how much y'all fraud are truly are.
Yeah.
Am I right, Spirit?
Mm.
Yeah. And one thing, Spirit.
Yeah.
Remember I think I sent you the picture, or you sent me a picture of Respawn just post the Prime month. Like, Spirit,
Yeah.
where's all the stuff saying, oh, we care about diversity, we care about equity inclusion. Where's all
Because it's a
this
lie.
stuff?
Because it's a
Where's
lie.
all these
But
Hispanic people?
They're waiting till it's June again.
because remember, this is not about equality. Like
Yeah,
there's no right that straight people have or that trans people or gay people don't have. And I know
yeah,
like some gay people say, oh, why you keep lumping us in together? Because that's what happened when they forced that narrative. They
yeah.
should have
Exactly, bro.
they're the ones who forced that narrative, not everyone else. They're bulked together because trans people try to jump on the bandwagon of the gay people and what they were doing.
And it just took a different
But
turn after that.
to be honest, it's not about equality. It's like you say, like people act like it just doesn't just go for like those kind of groups. It goes for everyone. People act like, oh, like there are no like rich black celebrities, rich Asian celebrities,
That's true.
rich business owners, whatever, all within this country. America is extremely progressive, and I don't
Javas,
mean and I don't mean
keep going,
progress and I
keep
don't mean
going, bro.
progressive in the sense that like that like like a leftist way of saying progressive. It's like it's literally progressive. You can be an immigrant from any country and you can become a success within the United States. So all this argument and all this bullshit that's going on is only keeping division alive, because it's making people, it's hyper focusing on negative things that don't play as much of a factor as people think it does. It's not like people are still fighting to use the same water fountains and shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, come on. And people don't want to accept responsibility. They don't want to, they just want to jump on whatever narrative is being propelled. That's why all this shit being shoved in media is so bad, because it's creating a narrative that's literally not true. That's literally not real.
Yeah. And all they want to do, they want to use Illuminati phases. That's the kind I can see. And right now, what is it? When prove those shows right? Hey, Reverend, see, like for the force, when we prove those fools right, we'll always stick to our ground. We always stick to the light and stick to the positive. But what these type of what shows do, they always love to say, oh, what is it? For example, oh, these guys are Christians. Oh, these guys are Two-Faced. Make up your mind, y'all. How we are goddamn Two-Faced, and you legit repeat the same thing what we say from the get-go when the trailer came out.
But think about this, right? I want you to really think here. You have the Game Awards, where they're blatantly showing trans people do basically showing their morning routine on an event that has nothing to do with gaming, right? Then you have companies like Black Girl Gamers and stuff like that. You have all these things that exist that simply cannot exist in a racially prejudiced society, right? That's why people want to keep on arguing. They want to keep on acting as if there's this crazy amount of oppression still going on, when it's not. All it's come down to nowadays is people complaining because they can't get their own shit together. You get what I'm getting at? True. You have white people. You have the Wachowski brothers. I still call them brothers because I don't believe in that bullshit that they claim. They are openly trans and accepted by Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? You have they're public and people don't say anything about it. There's so many things going on, and so many situations where these people are even given special privilege, that whole narrative these are oppressed people, we gotta fight discrimination. The only discrimination that's happening now is against people that are more conservative thinking. Because even conservatives that are not black or not that are not white, that are black, Hispanic, Asian, it doesn't matter. If you're a conservative, they're against you. So I guess I'm going off on a little bit of a tangent, but my whole point is that this narrative being pushed is just that, it's a narrative, and until people actually accept reality and what's going on, all that's going to happen is that it's just going to keep continuing to divide people.
That's true.
And it sucks, because in the 90s and 2000s and whatnot, people were less divided than ever before. Yeah, there was some bad stuff going on, but there was also a lot of good. And I think all this shit they're pushing now is just a step backwards for equality. And that's why I personally believe that it's all just a way to divide people, because by keeping us divided, you don't think about the shit that's really going on with the government in the UK, the government in the USA, some of the laws that are getting passed, some of the egregious shit that corporations are doing. It's just a mask.
Yeah, that's true, bro. Full on.
So yeah. So that's my opinion on it. And I think that really that's the heart of all these issues, is that it's a crutch for people. People look at it as a way to deflect responsibility in their own lives and blame everyone else for their problems. And it sounds lucrative to somebody who is who needs to who needs that. It's like a cult. It's like how people join cults because because people, it's when people
about video. But I'm saying and what is it? Anarchist rituals, I would say, because it's you have to appease to them, or if not, you be science forever. Well, I ain't science at all. We have to stick together.
A cult always targets the weakest people with minds to manipulate. You condition people to think a certain way through media and TV. You have perfectly good cult members that can abide by whatever you put out. A perfect little soldier to do what they're told. You know, because that's what they become. They become just soldiers, like to help perpetuate whatever message. It has no heart to it. It's all about like control and dictating people's lives and controlling the way people think and view things. That's what it's always come down to with these people. So
Yeah, that's true. Absolutely true. And by the way, I want to tell y'all, my phone's about 7%, and I have to like charge it. And what is it? We've been here for like 1 hour and probably 32 minutes. Well,
Mm.
I would say it's a
nice.
great conversation. By the way, I want to thank for three of you coming and joining. I thank Solo for like speaking about that situation. It
Yep.
it's like personally, it's like a great topic and great conversation how we discussed about the Dead Space remake, probably the Starfield situation, and also the shows from Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft, and also maybe some Twitter bots warriors too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I would say this though, everybody here, we all do have those type of shows, but we all know they can't even do no argument or debate. They'd rather have their feelings hurt.
Yeah, they want to say what they want. Their little echo chamber, and I have to deal with any pushback.
Yep. That's why a lot of the people invite people for debates is usually out of bad faith anyway.
Yep.
That's why a lot of people end
But
up declining it because they know what's gonna happen. So they're not
PG,
gonna set themselves up just to
yeah,
deal with like shit like that.
release buggy. Yeah, GTA 6 will release buggy and all those type of Rockstar shell boys, because we all know it has a million views and also millions of calls. But I would say this though, because it's been years. Every single time GTA 5 have been damn live around YouTube for years. I wanted the millions of the GTA 5 for all those years. Web is not even not working on the game. So I would say probably next year it's gonna be like half-assed because they can't be asked to work on that game. I will see how the second trailer is gonna go. And
yeah, let's see how it
can
goes.
be run damage control, and they kind of look up for anything to discuss. No new games, anything. It's just only GTA, 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 GTA.
Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is my prediction for GTA. I'm gonna be as candid as I can be. I hope that I'm saying this now for the record. I hope that I'm wrong, but this is how I see it playing out. The game is gonna be fun. It's gonna probably run really well and not be buggy. It's gonna have good graphics and a lot of cool things to do gameplay wise. I'm pretty confident the gameplay will be phenomenal. Right? All right. However, I think there is gonna be activist bullshit in the game. I think that the initial trailers that we just saw kind of gave us like, not that we just saw, but that came out. We can kind of see that all right, they're gonna push this narrative. That trailer had a lot of red flags in it if you know what to look for.
Yep.
And I think it's gonna be a game where they're gonna switch the role where she's gonna be the one pushing him to do crime and be like a bad boy, as opposed to in the previous iterations where it's usually the male character that drags the woman into a life of crime. I think that's gonna be done for subversive feminist reasons, and I think that if it's not really egregious, it will definitely be in the game in several scenes. I think being that they didn't what they did with GTA 5 with the trans stuff, I feel like they're gonna what's the word? Avoid making certain jokes. So it's gonna be a neutered version of GTA that's progressive.
Yeah. Yo, sorry about
See?
that, guys.
Yeah, you're back.
See, that's the thing with my room. Sometimes it always want to like boot me off.
Oh, the
Oh
connection.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you were quiet.
No, he was gone.
Um.
His whole thing. He just like
Oh,
popped out of
okay.
the thing. He
I
just
wasn't. I
came back
wasn't looking
now.
at the phone. I wasn't
Yeah,
looking at
yeah,
the phone. But I just wanted to say that that's what I think is going to happen. And I think that when a game comes out, the gameplay is going to be good. People love the brand recognition and they're going to defend it. And you're going to have a lot of people defending the shit and making excuses and blaming, the typical argument like, oh, how is it woke, whatever. But the reality is, it will probably be woke, but people will like it anyway because it's a fun
yeah.
game. It'll
Cause the
probably be a
fact,
fun game.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
cause we all know the games could be content, and it's gonna be low quality ever, and that's how we see how these activists really want to put company, developers at line in
but
risk because they want like low quality.
you understand like but you see like the key thing here that I'm really trying to get across is that the game will probably be really good. Even the story will probably be generally good, but it's gonna have feminist shit put in there, and
Yeah,
bullshit put in there, and identity politics. But people are gonna accept the identity politics because the game is good, which
yeah, that's
means
true.
which is annoying for me personally because it means that if the gameplay is shiny, then your morals go out the window. Whatever you
Yep.
believe goes out the window because all right, I got to play the shiny game.
But
And if that's the case, then it really shows you that everyone's just going to be controlled and do what daddy government, what
Rockstar.
daddy rockstar, what daddy activist tells them to do. And it's a shame,
Hmm.
but I see that how it plays out. I think the gameplay will be good, and like I said, and
yeah,
it's just going to
Solo.
be
Can I say something?
feminist
Solo.
bullshit.
I respect you, Solo. Even though I'm not getting GTA 6 because the fact like what is it? Three years ago, and right now when I see the trailer, all the damn mainstream media are dick riding that game. And I was it mainstream media? The whole goddamn mainstream media like BBC, CNN, Fox News, and other are following Rockstar track. I say nah. I'm done. Because they're all gonna be there and they all want to like, latch on that the same stuff if you want to talk about, and it's gonna be full on, you know, this type of culture ongoing. So yeah,
Well,
with
remember,
damage control, and also we all know like it's gonna have like propaganda, but the mainstream will go full on crazy, and it's gonna bite us to bits. With the
well,
damage control, with the far
you
thing
remember the
we
old
had.
GTA's?
Hmm?
The old GTA's would make fun of both right wing and left wing propaganda in their
Exactly,
games.
bro.
So like
Exactly.
the right wing people in the game would be like far right lunatics, and the left wing people in the game would be like left wing far like lunatics as well. And it will
Exactly,
usually
bro.
be done through like the radio stations and stuff, or like some of the TV shows in GTA 4 and 5 would also do it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so that's what they used to do. But like I said, I feel like with the censorship of the trans characters being quote unquote problematic, I think that's a clear sign that it's not the same Rockstar, and that
Yeah, exactly, bro. I remember,
the
and
game is
guys,
going to have
remember they.
a political slant with the jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Remember, Rockstar once hired a lot of women, and I already post on the community post. Even though what is it from yes, they do have women, and right now what is it? When it comes to the whole mainstream media, they're bashing Rockstar, how Rockstar got bad environments, they're not treating women properly, and all that condition or ongoing. So the fact like I still fully feel lost my interest in Rockstar, but it's not that. It's because how they treat the actors and all that type of stuff. They're sketchy shit and many more. So yeah. So
Yeah, Solo.
there was a lot of shit going on Rockstar. So I lost my trust. But I will say this, for example, I rather have the Saints Row 1 and 2, the old Saints Row, because at least Saints Row 1 and 2 make fun of both sides too. And look up into the fake ass reboot. Oh, what is it? They want to like stay natural. Nah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I think here's something that I feel like gamers should consider
yeah,
overall, right? Like the entire gaming community, and
exactly, bro.
that's that people are gonna have to, if they really want this stuff to stop, they're gonna have to start supporting indie and being willing to, like, especially on PC, and be willing to support games that are not on Steam, because, and I'm gonna explain why. If Steam becomes fully like, because Steam has done a lot of egregious shit in like the last few years with
True.
like some of like the censorship and shit that they've been doing and playing ball with. If even they get compromised, right? Then people are going to have to start accepting the fact that they're going to have to go to other places to get their games if they want to avoid this stuff, right? Because if I make a game that's like anti-woke or whatever, and what I mean by anti-woke is just that, not that it has what's the word, banging a hammer over your head with like anti-woke shit, but it just doesn't play ball with propaganda, and Steam doesn't want to have it on there, or other sites don't want to have it on there, then
True.
that means that even on PC your content is being controlled by these people. So if you want to like
True.
avoid that, you might have to take a hit in graphics, maybe a hit in a slight hit in fidelity of a game, right? If it's made by a smaller studio, to allow that studio to grow after it becomes successful into a bigger company that can make the content you like without it being influenced by investors and shit like that. But until people accept that, they're gonna keep getting away with it too,
True.
So I wanted to mention that because, it's like people think like, all right, well, I game on PC, I do whatever, but all right, they're censoring games on Steam as well. There's so many indie developers developing games that are forced to use Steam because everyone uses Steam to download their games. They don't use any other like service. So it's something to consider, man. It's something to consider. Maybe if they have a driver on their site or whatever on there, then go on their site and download the game directly from them, and you can help curate that as well, because that's another problem that I feel like isn't talked about much.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Absolutely true. Yeah, because what is it? Majority of the game community just focus on that type of situation, but not focus on what's the on topic situation, which we need to like discuss, bro. And yeah, so on. We need to like do that. And plus two, by the way, thanks for like joining. And I need
Oh,
to
yeah,
charge
thanks for
this
having me.
phone right now.
I
Respect for
appreciate it, man.
Spirit,
Yep.
respect for you, Revenant, and respect for you, Jinpachi. Probably
Likewise.
around, I would say, maybe around, I would say at 30th, like due to the end of May, probably we might do the podcast. But I would say not around Tuesday. Maybe in 2 weeks' time. I'll say 2 weeks' time.
Okay.
Well,
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'll
not to do
let
it.
y'all know.
Not to do a shameless plug, but here's a shameless plug. Me and Revenant might be doing the podcast again, maybe this Saturday or next Saturday. We haven't decided yet.
I had mentioned we're gonna do it this Saturday.
Okay, so you want to do it this Saturday? So we're gonna do that. Spirit.
Similar to what was being talked about here. I mean, one thing is the Dead Space remake and the Star Wars Outlaw game, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But Spirit, you're welcome to join if you want to join in. It's gonna be fun. I'd like to have you on there. I always enjoy talking to you, and Reborn you as well if you want to get on there too. And it's gonna be fun.
I'll put a community post about it so you guys will know about the time, because at least in my region it'll probably be like maybe like early afternoon, like 3 o'clock Saturday, maybe PM in US time. So it shouldn't be too late for you guys in the UK.
And plus, I like having the perspective of people that don't live in the United States. They might have like a slightly different perspective. So it's always good to have people who have a a different upbringing, or like grew up in a different environment. That's always good to have as well.
And they can explain like what's going on in their country that's kind of similar to what's happening here.
Exactly. And our country, because we know like two our countries not doing well. Because I can't blame one country. It's just like the two of us country, like US and UK, I would say.
Yeah. The world leaders, quote unquote world leaders.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, I think that's it for me, because I'm doing a couple other things right now too. So, we've been at it for like almost 2 hours. I appreciate the conversation. And like I said, thanks for having me on. You mind if I do a little outro, Reborn? All right. You mind if I do an outro?
Do your outro. Do it.
All right, so if anybody hasn't seen me before, check me out. My channel's called Jinpachi. I do a lot of gaming, animation stuff. I do some political commentary, mostly like as a guest on other podcasts, but I'm starting to do my own videos with it. You could check out my video on Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. Some of my gameplay videos. I also live stream games as well. I'll be streaming Stellar Blade when that releases as well. So if you're interested, check it out. And if not, that's fine too. Thanks for having me.
Spirit.
Ooh, sounds like someone's cutting out.
Oh, Spirit. You wanna do your outro or something?
Yo, I'm Spirit of Paradox. I do content about comic books for the most part. I mean, I do need to start talking about gaming to movie a little bit more often, but yeah, that's what I do. And I am about an hour overdue to my bed. So, yes, people, it's good to be on the show.
Yeah.
love that outro.
Good. Revenant.
Oh yeah, so I'm Revenant Remnant. I talk about shit that goes on in gaming, as far as like commentary videos. I'm obviously against the woke shit that's going on. I usually don't hold back. And my latest video, me and Jim Pachi were talking about the hypocrisy and the disingenuous criticism towards Stellar Blade. If you want to check that out, and we'll be bringing the podcast back this Saturday. If anyone's interested in watching, or if you want to join, just let me know through X or wherever you would want to try to see if you can reach me. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And thanks for having me again on the podcast, Reborn.
Yeah. Respect. And guys, can't repeat. Is I Reborn? I do everything what makes you happy. I do podcasts, maybe full extended, remix version of songs. I'm more like gaming, discussing wise, and yep, that's it. So it's great for few of the people that join my podcast, which I really appreciate. So I want to say thank you for few of them. Thank you for Jimpachi, Revenant, and Spirit of Paradox. So pleasure. And maybe in 4 years' time, we will see the industry change. Am I right, Spirit of Paradox?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we
Hopefully
will
for
see
the
the industry
better, though.
change. Never know, but the only thing we gotta do, keep surviving and stay positive, and have a good energy mindset. Simple.
All right, guys. Well, I'll catch you later.
Yep.
I'm gonna head out.
Yeah.
Peace.
Head out.
Yeah,
See you,
good night,
Jimpachi.
people.
See you, Revenant. See you, Spirit Paradox.
Mhm.
All right. Peace.